Are you one of them people that compares chocolate to sex?
Who?
You.
I don't even really care for chocolate that much, to tell you the truth, but
So that's what you.
ha 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 ha. Real funny. All right. Well, welcome to the threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where the three of us try to talk about at least 3 topics each week. If you're back for more pain,
God knows why. We know what you're here for. Hey.
thank you, and we're glad to have you. If this is your first time, we're still glad to have you, but I guess we'll have to introduce us to you. Our point person and optimistic realist who's not feeling so optimistic today. We call her Star.
It's your world, squirrel.
Trying to get a nut?
Trying to get a nut.
Mhm.
I mean, isn't that all of us? And the center of our threesome and our voice of reason is the man we call Magic.
Hey Rachel, I know you're not listening, but get well soon.
Aw,
Well, get well soon.
yeah, get well soon. I don't know who you are, but you know.
Yeah, don't like to hear about people being ill.
Well, hell, stop being ill.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Been the illest son.
And bringing up the rear, as always, I identify as the pragmatic contrarian of our group, and they call me Storm. So, I guess we'll start out with the heavy shit first. Well, before we do that, any announcements? Anything happened this week that I might have missed that we need to talk about?
Rest in peace, DJ Spooner.
Oh, right. Aw.
So
I'm
that's
gonna
peace.
need details.
that you said you what now?
Said I'm gonna need details.
This guy that I've been knowing since elementary school, and he had COVID like last year, and like was in the hospital for like 10 weeks. Finally got out. He was doing good, and he also had some other health issues. But anyway, he caught COVID again, which exacerbated his other health issues, and he passed away the other day.
Mm.
Um,
Aw.
52, great guy. Fucking, like this whole getting older thing. Um, besides, like your bones doing involuntary shit. The
Word.
worst the worst thing about getting older to me is watching death just snatch away people you care about. Like,
Yeah, especially people our age or younger. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just
that's just
depressing.
fucked up.
But
So,
anyway, RIP.
yeah, for sure.
Um, I guess we'll go with the heavy shit first, since we've already started with the heavy shit.
Say heavier?
Well, not heavy, not actually heavier. I just wanted to talk about this trend we have in our nation about charging kids as adults.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Now,
shit is weird.
now this is not about old boy that, opened fire in the school in Oxford. Like, this ain't about him. I'm not caping for him. But I find it so odd that people are so ready to charge kids as adults. I mean, kids as young as that I think that Nathaniel Abraham that they had charged years ago, that Jeffrey Feiger had represented. Remember him?
Hmm.
I think he was like 11 when he did whatever he did, and they charged him as an adult. Like, I find
Lord.
it so fucking weird. Like, they pick this arbitrary number at which point you're supposed to be an adult. Okay.
Hear that, Jelaine?
A- And nothing you can do will get you there faster. Doesn't matter how good your grades are, whether you're holding down a job, because you can only hold down so much of a job until you reach that age. But then the minute you do something fucked up, oh, well, they're they're an adult, so we're going to charge them as an adult.
Especially if they have melanin.
I mean, I just find that so fucking am I the only one that thinks that's fucked up? Like,
Nah, it's weird because we're all adults. I can safely say I did a lot of dumb shit at 11, 13, 15, up through 29.
well, I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, and to play devil's advocate, I get the people who say, well, if they're out there killing people, then they're doing adult shit. Well, okay. I know girls that had literal children, birth literal babies in high school that still couldn't that
That
that,
still
that the
Like
weren't
they ain't
law
properly
straight.
still
paired
didn't
children.
recognize them as adults. So your criteria is not that you're doing adult shit. Your criteria is revenge.
Your criteria
Yeah.
is revenge, and it's fucked up, and it's fucked up on a couple of different levels, such as, okay, first of all, let's talk about how your brain doesn't even stop developing until, like, what is that, mid 20s?
25. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, somewhere around there. So it's like, that's fucking not fair. Children aren't given any other rights.
that's my point.
They aren't given any other rights under the law, but they do something fucked up. And then, well, let's not go to the let's go to the part about the jury of your peers. Where's that
Right.
happening at when you're a fucking kid?
Right. I
Like,
mean,
That happening when you're
yeah.
an adult, but yeah.
Right. I was gonna say, it doesn't always happen when you're an adult, but you have very little chance of it happening when you're a
happening if you're
kid.
a child. And then, like, so you charge these kids as an adult. Where do they go? They go to prison with
Yes.
with
With an
grown.
adult.
Yes.
Like,
Well,
no.
and I'm glad that at least the Supreme Court, I'm surprised, but at least the Supreme Court recently did come back and say, hey, if you charge these kids as adults, and you can't then sentence them to life in prison, because that's ridiculous.
And it is.
So, so I'm glad about that. And I mean, because basically you're punishing children because adults in their lives have failed them most of the time. You know what I
I was
mean?
gonna say, the majority of the time when kids do real fucked up shit where they gotta where they could even have the probability of being charged as an adult, some adult or adults have failed them in their lives.
Exactly.
And that's the
Um,
thing, that children are more easily influenced than adults. That's
In
why
theory,
statutory is a thing.
yes. Exactly. And that was going to be my other point. Like like an 18-year-old having sex with a 16-year-old gets charged with statutory rape. But a 13-year-old is perfectly capable of making his own decisions, and so we're going to charge him as an adult. Like, I don't know, I find that unseemly. And I don't know, I just don't think it's fair.
yeah.
um
In the majority of the cases, absolutely not.
well, in any case, I don't think I don't think you can give someone the right to be adult once they've crossed a line that you consider so bad that you can't look at them as a kid anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that's crazy when
I
there are
think
so
when you're
many other
young too,
things.
you don't respect life. You haven't lived enough to understand the value of it. So the
Exactly.
ability to take it or sell things that will affect people permanently, you don't understand long term repercussions.
No, because your view of the world is so narrow. Now
Yeah.
listen, I mean, I considered myself a smart teenager, okay? Like I was intelligent, but I knew nothing of the world. And I didn't
Yeah.
know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
Even in my 20s, when I thought, oh, well, I know stuff now.
You ain't no
I didn't
shit.
know shit then. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know. I just find it real fucked up, and and then this mob mentality that we have as a nation, that's like, punishment, punishment, punishment to the to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah, like that
Puritan.
shit historically has worked.
Exactly.
Yeah. I always thought it was funny, like when you see witches getting burned, more people are scared of the witch than the hundreds of people standing there cheering.
Well, they should be. I mean, I would. Well, first of all, if we just talk about burning witches at this, like, I always thought that was the silliest thing, when I heard about that, because I'm like, if you really think they're witches, wouldn't you be afraid to do anything again? I don't know. So weird. But yeah. Anyway, nothing in this nation makes sense.
Nah,
Yep.
Is my point.
This is America.
This is America,
the three
exactly.
Ks.
Yeah, but I just don't understand, how people are like, oh, we'll charge him as an adult. I don't give a fuck. Well, if someone was 15 and decided they wanted to join the army, you'd be like, oh no, you can't do that.
You can't. You're not old enough to
You're
make
not
that
old
decision
enough
for
to
your
make
life.
that decision about life and death. But yet, they shoot up a school, or, um, shoot somebody at a gas station or whatever they do. And now all of a sudden, oh yeah, we're going to charge them as an adult. I just find that unseemly. I find it fucked up, and I don't agree with it.
As a former career criminal, I'm a big advocate of don't do the crime if you're not willing to do the time, but you have to allow people to grow.
Well, and that's my thing. I think we've come to a point in this nation, and I say the same thing. I say the same thing about racists. Um, and, of course, black people think I'm crazy. But
Mm,
I shut up. But but
you
I
said it.
think whatever. But I think you have to give people the opportunity for growth. So just because you said some fucked up shit when you were 22, and oh, he's a racist and da 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 da, well, I mean, that was 10 years ago. Maybe he's grown. Have you talked to him?
Yeah.
you know,
A lot of
but
shit
it's
I
always,
wholeheartedly believed 20 years ago is fucking stupid at this point.
and that's what I'm saying. You have to give people the opportunity to grow and evolve. And when you're talking about children, and as Star pointed out so aptly, when your brain isn't even fully developed, and you're going to judge them like the rest of their lives have to be spent in prison because they made, they did something stupid. I mean, it just, and listen, I do not make excuses for stupidity. I really don't. But I mean, they can't be kids until you're ready for them. Until you decide they're not anymore.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
you've already picked an arbitrary number. Well, two of them actually. 18 and 21 as these arbitrary numbers as to when someone ought to be adult enough to do certain things.
Mhm.
And then the minute they do something you don't approve of, then, oh, well, now you're an adult. I don't know. I don't
This
get
is
it.
America.
Yeah. But yet,
Who better judges?
but yet, the only way you can be an adult is if you do some fucked up shit. That's the only way you can get to be an adult at 15, 14, 13, 12. You know, if you're an upstanding citizen, straight A student, doing everything you're supposed to do, nah, you're not good enough to be an adult.
Well, you can get emancipated, but whatever.
You know how hard that shit
Not
is?
easily. Yeah.
It's a lot harder than shooting up a school or shooting or killing
Yeah,
somebody.
for sure.
So that's all I'm saying is that, I think we as when I say we as a country have a problem in in the fucked up way we're doling out these punishments to kids. That's all.
Mhm. I got you.
I
Beat the
mean, to the
children
point where, and then
before it
if
gets
you're
to this point.
yeah, and then if you're charged as an adult in some states, I think it's different in different states, but in some states, if you're charged as an adult, you have to go to adult prison.
Mhm.
And now they have to make special accommodations for you.
Combinations for you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they
So
can't put you in Gen Pop.
they can't put you in Gen Pop because now so like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing as a nation? It just, I don't know. It irritates me.
Mhm.
But on a lighter note, Magic,
Yes, ma'am.
you wanted to talk about your work spouse.
I do not have a work spouse, but I'm so ready, willing, and able to kill my girlfriend's work spouse. Hey,
Oh.
Why?
Chris. Fuck it. I don't like that whole game of. See, I understand at work, it's work. Do whatever you're
Yeah,
going to do, have fun, talk shit. But why are you consoling people after work for shit going on in their regular life? Like,
because
nah,
you're friends.
nah. Y'all don't have guy friends.
That's
What?
ridiculous.
I told y'all time and time again, no man came up to you and went, damn, she's cool, she's sexy, I want to be her friend. Everybody came in with the
No,
intent of
they
like,
just
yeah, I want to fuck, but at some point, all right, it's
no,
not going to happen. Okay, tell me how men
no,
think. Go.
no. I disagree.
We know.
I disagree wholeheartedly. On
Okay.
behalf of all of my male friends, I disagree with that.
Once again, if you believe your guy friends are just very good friends with you because you're so cool, offer them pussy once.
Um, First of all, most of them are married, so ew.
That's not the point I'm making. I didn't say fuck them.
Secondly,
I said offer them.
secondly, they're like my brothers, so ew.
Once again, I didn't say fuck them. I said offer
I
them.
don't offer my brothers such things.
Okay,
Cause
believe
ew.
whatever lies you want to believe. I shall tell you the truth.
I'm gonna have to get some of my male friends on this podcast to give you a little what for. I was
Yeah,
talking to my
because they
bestie
staring at your
today.
titties going, huh, this fucking
What?
friend.
Ew, you're ridiculous.
But honest.
No, you're ridiculous. Anyway, um, work spouses though. I'm trying to think. Have I ever had a work husband?
If you really want to piss your regular spouse off, you go home and go, you know what? My work wife was right about you.
Well, I mean, well, I get, well, yeah, I used to have a coworker used to call me his work wife. I never considered him my work husband, but he used to call me his work wife. And his wife used to call me his work wife.
Mm.
Proximity game is dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Um, okay. But
It's not a guarantee. It's just high probability.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it depends on who you are
Yeah.
and how you approach that whole thing. Like I always approached it as a joke. You know, when he would
yeah.
call me, when he and his wife would call me his work wife, I always thought that to be, like it was always funny to me. I never took it seriously. Like that's not a real position. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a joke. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You wasn't getting back rubs in the cubicle.
no. I mean, although I'm trying to think, I
Couple
mean,
lunch date.
I have given people massages in their cubicle. Not
Mm.
not
Assault.
not just men. I
Harassment.
mean, not just men. I mean, shoulder massage, that's all. Not like, you
Mhm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
none of that. Just like a little shoulder massage.
You
Um
ain't rubbing no feet in the cubicle, girl.
right, no, I'm not doing none of that. But
Painting
like
toes.
if I'm hovering over your head, because like I'm looking at your workstation or whatever, because you have a question or whatever, and I'm hovering over you, I mean, it's just weird. If you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll lean on people. I mean, I don't know. I'm friendly.
Mhm.
I mean, but again, you have to understand, I haven't worked in the office for like 7 years. So, well, 8 now, huh? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's
It,
been since the Me Too movement kicked off.
you know what's funny about that? Well, I won't even say that.
Go ahead and say it.
I remember, well, my mom used to be an investigator for the EEOC,
Mm.
long before Me Too. Um, So I remember I was talking to her one day because, I work in a male dominated field. It's starting to get more females
Mhm.
now, but when I first started 25 years ago, it was basically usually me, maybe another woman, and a bunch of dudes, right?
Mhm.
And I remember I was talking to my mom one day, and I was like, I don't know. I said something, and I said, "Oh, well, all the sexual harassment that goes on in my office." And my mom said, "What? Wait, is someone's are those men sexually harassing you?" I was like, "Nah, mom. Actually, it's me and the girls messing with them.
Ah.
Like we give them a hard time."
Gender equality for you.
There you go. Um, but yeah, yeah. I don't know. I've never really had what I would consider a work spouse. Um, Star.
I've had a couple of work spouses. I mean, I have a tendency to get along with men better than women, and so in that, um, I usually end up with a couple of work husbands. Um, and I mean, it's nothing. Like in my mind, it's nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
when you clock out, it's over.
yeah, it's totally over. Like I can't think of like at this current point, like I have a regular crew of guys that I work with every now and then, and I talk to like one of them afterwards. When we're at work, it's like, oh, hey, where's make sure she good. Oh, she having a cranky day. Get her Panera green tea. Whatever, whatever. But again, when we leave, that's over.
Yeah. Not so much with me. Like, with my coworkers that I've been friendly with, a lot of times we'd be friendly after hours. Like we would go to
The single
games.
ones, yeah.
the single ones and the married ones. Like
Nah.
we go
Playing
together.
with
Like I
fire.
mean, well, first of all, like my brother that lives around the corner from you, I call him my brother. That was my coworker. That's how we met.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that there's like, special circumstances, and I get that.
Yeah, and we would
Um,
just, we always hung out, and his wife would come along. Like if we went to
Now
the
that's one
basketball game or
thing.
whatever, his wife
Yeah.
would come along. I mean, it's no big deal. Um, Sometimes she wouldn't. Sometimes she'd be at work, and we would decide we were gonna go to the movies while she at work or whatever, or we were. I mean, just hanging out.
You know what? Here's my rule. This is just my rule. When it comes down to making friends with like males and things like that, I don't care how good we get along. If they are married or in some sort of like committed relationship, yeah, we're probably not hanging out after hours. Definitely probably not sitting up chit chatting on the phone and all of that other stuff.
Very safe.
Um, you said what now?
Very safe.
But, I mean, you know what? Here's the thing. I know what my intentions are. What I
Right.
don't like is a lot of the backlash that comes out of insecurity when it comes to that kind of stuff. And you never know what a person is dealing with at home or inside of their relationship. And so,
Right.
you know, some of that I guess may come on to you that is undue, not due to you because they're dealing with stuff in their relationship. And so just to avoid all of that, yeah, my ones who are married and like in committed relationships, especially if I'm just recently meeting them, like I have a couple of guys that I've been knowing since I was like 15 or 16 years old, and two of them are married, one of them is in a very committed relationship, and our dealings with each other are, you know, I mean, very short. Like
Mm.
if I end up spending too much time with one of my friends, and we're both photographers. If I end up spending too much time with him, I feel freaking bad. Like, hey, it's 11 o'clock. Like, go
You
home. You know
probably
what
feel
I mean?
you probably feel worse about it than he does.
He did well. Either he does,
Surely.
or maybe even she does. But again, it's just me, and I'm like, for me, there are certain rules and boundaries for me with married people that I'm uncomfortable with, no matter how comfortable they are. You know, just
Mm.
just to keep it clear, like I said, it will be in class, and class is over at 9, and sometimes it may go to like 10:30, and I'll be the one looking at the watch like, you gonna take your ass home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's me. That's me.
Yeah. I mean, now it would give me pause if he was married and I didn't know the wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't care.
Or if
Yeah.
she, or if she had a problem or whatever. That would probably give me pause.
Both
But
of y'all are better people than me. I only respect your relationship as much as your spouse does.
I mean, I don't. Well, first of all, I'm not trying to get with your man.
I'm not trying to get with your man, and
So,
I've been seen as the black widow. Like in folks' relationships, like, oh, here she come, single, fat ass, whatever, whatever. She either trying to fuck them or they trying to fuck her. Either way, we don't want her ass around. And what a lot of times these women don't even realize is that I'm probably a large part of the reason why
yes,
y'all
yes,
still even the motherfucking together, because they get
yes.
mad and then call me
Yes.
and I talk their ass off the ledge like,
Ain't that a bitch? Because a lot of my friends who have insecure significant others,
yep,
if they knew how big of an ally
yep,
I am, they
exactly,
would
for their
cut that shit
relationship,
out.
exactly.
Okay? Because if it wasn't for me, that shit probably would have fallen apart a long time
Long
ago. Because
freaking
I'm
time
the one,
ago.
I'm the one going. You know, you wrong.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
you shouldn't
There
be
you go,
doing that.
wives. Be comfortable with the woman you fear. She's helping you out.
Listen, in the case like with me, it was my ex. We still cool. He had called and he was telling me something about whatever the hell was going on in their relationship. And I'm listening, but you know how you're listening to somebody, but you're multitasking. So I'm on the phone and I'm multitasking and he's talking and I'm hearing him. But then he got to the part was like, she got mad at me because I told her she was getting fat. It was like everything stopped.
Monica, what the
Right.
fuck?
Like
She's
everything
supposed
stopped.
to
Like,
get
what
mad at
the
you.
fuck did you just
Right.
say? He was like, I didn't call her fat. I told her that she was getting fat. I was like,
Ugh.
dude, you splitting hairs.
Yeah,
You might
slap
as well
yourself,
have
my
told
guy.
her
Right.
that she was fat. And
Right.
I'm gonna tell you this to you.
Speaking of splitting hairs, what if she had told your ass you were going bald?
Right.
I mean, a lot of motherfuckers is in
or
denial, but you know.
or hell, you getting short.
You
'Cause-
getting short,
yeah, because
or
men hate
your
being
balls
short.
hanging a little bit lower than what they used
Right.
to.
I think I'm
Anything.
like an inch shorter than I used to be.
And but I'm just saying, especially men that are already, questionable
Self-conscious.
size, you know, they hate being told they're short.
You ain't
So
5'8", you 5'6".
no, I'm talking the
With Tim's
5'9",
on.
5'10" ones.
Yeah.
They hate being called short.
You know what I mean? I'm like, you're gonna pay for that. I was like, I'm just letting you know now, you're gonna pay for that, and this will not be the end of it. I was like, what you really need to do is just go profusely apologize. You know,
Yes.
Wear her thighs as
you
earmarks.
misspoke, right? You misspoke, whatever. I was like, because your ass gonna pay for that. He's like, how are you on her side? I was like, dude, because your ass is wrong.
Wrong. Exactly. Wrong is wrong.
As a
Wrong
grown
as
man ought to
hell.
know you fucking slipped up soon as you let them words come out your mouth.
You should have
You
known.
would, yeah,
I
you
was
would be
like, she
surprised.
probably stood up in the bed like the exorcist, like, what the fuck did you just say? Like,
Yeah, if I say that shit out loud, I'm fucking squaring off. I know it's a fight about to happen.
oh yeah. Some shit you just don't say. I don't give a fuck
Right.
how honest, blunt, forward you are. Like, dude, I didn't tell
Unless you're
her
looking for a
fat.
fight.
Unless you're looking for a fight.
Because
I
some
didn't call
people
her
are.
fat. I didn't call her fat though. I didn't say she was fat. I said she was getting fat. I said, dude, you called her fat.
Yeah,
It was like,
same thing.
same thing.
A distinction without a difference.
But anyway, a lot of these chicks don't even understand.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like that with my bestie. You know, I told you his girlfriend. Yeah, she's not having it. She doesn't matter that I don't live in the same state. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I better not, go visit my people and we hang out for the day or whatever, because that's gonna be a problem. But what she doesn't understand is that as
I am
long as
not
he's
the
hanging out with
problem.
me, he's not
We're not
doing
doing other shit.
other bullshit that he's probably doing when I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I always say it in a lot of situations like that. Like, you're not dealing with the elephant in the room. You're dealing with the mouse outside on the sidewalk. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how insecure people be in relationships. That shit seems stressful.
It does.
I can't with it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm like, like, if you have to work that hard, like, it's just the way I feel. When people are like, well, relationships are hard work, I'm like, no, work is hard
Hard
work.
work.
Your relationship should not be that hard. Like, you
No.
shouldn't have to work that hard to hold some shit together. If
Yeah.
you have to work that hard to hold it together,
You
it's
might want to
probably not for you.
re-examine. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be moments, but if it's consistent, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Well, first of all, I'm not playing, private eye and,
Yeah, I'm definitely not
checking
doing that.
your odometer to see, how far
What?
you drove and you were gone for half an hour.
Lord.
And I
I've
mean,
been
that's just
chastised a
crazy.
few times because I don't go back and forth in relationships. Like I don't do that break up to make up shit. Like if it got to the
Yeah.
point where we don't need to be together, then we don't need to be together. There's nothing to fix.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, and most times we can go on, like, I don't have a problem. I mean, we can be civil. You know what I
Mm,
mean? We
I'm
can be
cool with all
civil.
my exes,
me too.
which
I
no
Two for
woman
am,
on
one.
earth is comfortable with. But hey, I'll be
yeah,
worried about you if
I'm,
none of your exes like you and want to kill your ass.
yeah, I'm cool with all of them. Well,
One except
even
for
that
one.
one. No, even that one.
I got
We've
one.
come to an understanding. So,
No,
yeah.
we will never, never, ever bust our ass, nigga.
No, I mean, we like I said, we came to an understanding, and that was that. And
Good for you.
we don't have to be around each other. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you one thing: if he were to call me tomorrow and was like, "I really need your help," I would help.
No.
I would, because that's just how I am. I
I
don't like
I'm
to
that
see
person that would
anybody.
help strangers on the street. But if that nigga called me and said he needed something, you understand? Like, no, I don't give a fuck. First of
Yeah.
all, I'm pissed that you called. And if I answer the phone, yeah.
You remind me of Dell. She once, she likes to say that, if any of her exes were were on fire, she
Wouldn't
wouldn't
spit on
waste some
their
piss.
ass.
Nah, she said she wouldn't waste her piss to put them out.
I actually took care of my ex-wife while she had COVID.
Aw, aren't you
Yeah,
sweet?
I stayed over there like 3 days.
Okay. I mean,
I
and
would do
see, and
that for
that's,
most of my exes.
yeah, and that's something I would do. That's something I would do. Like, even if it was someone that, I mean, because most of them, let's be honest, I don't talk to them on a regular basis. Every now and then, we see each other, it's what's up, or But if they came to me because they needed help with something and I could help, I would help them.
I mean, I've done it for some of my exes, but like I said, I got one. I'm like your girl. Wouldn't waste a drop of piss on that. His ass was on fire. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing. But wow, we went way off topic. But yeah, work spouses have their time and place. But I mean, if I'm gonna call you my work spouse, we're probably going to be friends. So I mean, there's going to be some sharing of our lives in some kind of way. You know what I mean?
yeah, I
But
guess.
I've never had an actual work spouse, so I don't know how that works.
I have, but it usually turned into somebody I was fucking later on down the line.
Of course it did.
Excuse me for being focused.
You're excused.
Thank you. Appreciate
All I'm saying is, um, you can't be mad at the work spouse for providing a listening ear.
Mm,
you. Yeah, I can.
yeah.
You didn't know you can't, because
Yes, I can.
listen,
Because I'm a
if
listening fucking ear.
well, maybe you're the problem. But my point is, if if one of my friends, somebody I considered a friend, especially one that I considered friendly enough, friend enough to refer to them as a work spouse or whatever, if they came to me and they needed my ear, I would give it to them. I mean, we'd have drinks after work or something, and we'd sit and talk. I mean,
Releasing inhibitions. Fuck
Mm,
that.
yeah, well, That's just how it is. But that doesn't mean that, that doesn't mean he's trying to get with her. I mean,
Mm.
Yeah, it does.
no, it doesn't.
I'm so confused yet glad you believe people are better than they are, but
And also, women, and I got to put this out here. If I go to work, when I was working in the office, if I go to work and I have, like, let's say I've made a pot of gumbo or something, and I bring it into the office and I give your boyfriend, husband, significant other, if I give him some of my gumbo, I'm not trying to fuck him. I
man, you
promise
can't
you.
be feeding somebody else's man. You know,
Yes, you
chicks be
can.
ready to cook. No,
I'm
you
not gonna
don't
sit
They be
do
ready.
here.
that.
People be ready to fight.
Yeah, you
Yes, but
don't
I'm
feed
like, I can't.
nobody else's
I'm not
man.
gonna
That's
sit
the
here.
only.
I'm not gonna sit here and eat this good gumbo in your face and not give you some. Like, I'm sorry. I was raised in the South. That's just rude.
Listen, and I wasn't raised in the South, but I was raised by a Southerner, and so let me tell you that that was one of the things that I knew better about, and I felt bad. Like, I had made friends with the head maintenance guy that was in apartment, that worked in an apartment I was living at, and we had really gotten to be cool. And so one day I had made I like barbecued or something, and I had made him a plate, just gave it to him, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
he took it home. He took it home,
Oh, well,
and
see, that was his fault.
well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you
yeah,
slipping, bruh.
but he had taken the plate home, and I'll say it took like maybe about 30, 40 minutes or whatever. And there's this lady at my door holding the plate that I gave him. And I'm like,
Oh,
I
damn.
looked out the door and I was like, I was like, like what's going on? So I opened up the door. I was like, hey, I was like, hi. She was like, hi. She was like, I'm such and such last name. And I said, oh, I said, oh, such and such's wife. And he goes, yeah. She goes, yes. She's like, I just came back to bring you your plate. And I was like, and I'm
He
confused
came
because
back to
I'm
look you in the
innocent.
eye.
Right, right. But because I'm innocent, I'm confused initially. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. I was like, was there something wrong? She was like, yeah, I don't want women feeding my husband. And I was like, oh,
That's real
and
shit.
so for real, like I invited her in, talked to her, and I did apologize. You understand? Because that is his wife. And I was just like, I wasn't even thinking or whatever. So anyway, long story short, by the time she pretty much figured, oh, this is some innocent shit and I overreacted or whatever, um, um, you know,
There's one woman on
I
earth that can
offered to
recognize
make her
that.
a plate. And I had told him, I said, if I had known if he was taking the plate home, I would have
You would have
offered to
made
make you a
two.
plate. Yeah, I would have made
Right.
two. And so she was like, I feel like a heel, whatever. I said, well, no, don't feel like a heel. It's okay or whatever. And so I said, well, would you like a plate? And she was like, well, what's funny is as I was marching down the street, there's something in that plate that smells really, really good. I was like, you can have some, whatever, whatever. But her and I are cool now. And he and I have been, really cool ever since. But, I knew better when I did it. It just was not a conscious thought. Like you don't feed other people's men.
Yeah, I find that weird. Especially if especially if we're talking about at work. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna feed everybody but your man. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just weird to me.
Yeah.
And with fire.
Yep. You don't feed other people's men.
Yeah,
Like,
I just think that's weird. Matter of fact, if it's me, I'm like, please feed him.
well, I ain't gotta cook.
So I gotta thank you. So I can get in here and watch Monday Night Football in peace, or whatever.
That's funny.
Matter of fact, send a plate home for me,
Right.
or whatever.
We can warm
All I
that
heard
shit up
was
and
stick
sit
a
up and
pussy
watch
in his
TV.
face, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it because, a lot of old wives' tales about what women put in men's
Gumbo.
food to
Yeah. True
entrap,
blood ass birds.
which, by the way, ew, don't ever do
Ew.
that. Like, ew. I mean, I heard the
Honestly, I gotta try
stories.
eating period pussy one day, but sooner or later.
Or don't. I mean, that's
I
okay
think
too.
like if she has a tampon in and you're only focusing on the
Uh,
clit anyway. eh,
okay. I mean, sure. Good for you.
Ew.
But my point is, don't do that. Don't be putting stuff. Don't. Okay, whatever spell you think you're about to cast by doing that, um,
Just
Go
don't.
ahead, hoodoo.
just don't do that because ew, it's unsanitary and
Ew.
yeah, just ew. Uh, but yeah, I grew up hearing those stories because my parent, both of my parents are from Louisiana, so
Did
the
you watch
adults used to
Skeleton
talk
Key?
about that all the time about why this man is under this woman's spell or whatever.
Put them
Um,
warts on you.
yeah, well, she must have fed him that red sauce.
Did you
Mm.
watch Skeleton Key?
Did I watch what?
Skeleton Key.
Never heard of it.
Ah,
You
great
don't
movie.
watch horror films, do you?
I don't do horror.
I'd say it's more suspense
Psychological
than
thriller.
horror. Yeah.
Mm, well, if it's any horror, I don't want no part of it. I don't do horror.
Nah, it's a lot of
Unless, of
suspense,
course,
but
it's true crime. I do that.
Mm.
hey, Joe Blow.
Be quiet.
I like
I'm
when
his
people write
favorite,
in.
remember? We're going with that. Or else I gotta look for him.
Mm.
But yeah, don't be feeding men red sauce, because first of all, you're liable. The spell's liable to work, and then you can't get rid of his ass once you realize that you don't want him. So
You ain't watched The
don't do that.
Craft or nothing. Speaking of fucking songs that had deeper inner meanings, Red Light Special was hilarious by TLC. But anyway,
Yes.
All
Um.
yours. You want to make.
hey, Star,
Yo.
want to start a new segment?
Sure.
I think we should. I mean, it's an old segment, but maybe we'll just start naming it.
Okay.
We got
And
to do
that would be.
segments. This podcast is disorganized.
What are we
as
gonna
fuck.
call it?
Star Search.
Oh, I like that because Star around here dating,
Motherfuckers off
Oh,
of
that's what
Facebook
you
and
want to
shit.
call it.
yeah, playing with fire, swallowing swords,
Stalkers,
all of that.
manscapers.
Yeah. So, what's the latest in the Star
So,
Search?
met this guy. We'll just call him D. Okay.
For Dick or for whatever his name
Yeah.
actually
That's the
is?
first initial of his name, but he
Oh, okay.
could be
I
Dickhead.
was just wondering.
Anywho, so talked to him on the phone a couple of times. Now, the one red flag that I did have was that this dude, he seemed really energetic.
Uh,
Really, really energetic.
how old is he?
But 41.
Oh, okay. Well, he's allowed to be energetic.
Yeah.
So okay, but like I just said, that was a small flag. It was just like, wow, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're hyper as hell.
Cocaine
But
is a hell of a drug.
yeah. Oh. So anywho, um, so anyway, 3 o'clock in the morning, talking to the dude, he's super hyper. So like I said, that was just one small flag. I won't even call that a red flag. It was just kind of like a point of attention. It's like, so, but then that could translate into some wonderful things. So didn't cast him out just for that. So Ended up meeting up with dude in a coffee shop. Mm. And he's catching hell trying to just sit still.
Oh my. At 41?
Yeah,
Good coffee.
like that's what I was thinking. Like, I know he said he works two jobs and he goes to school part time. I'm like, is it a caffeine thing? In my mind, I'm just, kind of sitting up watching this dude. Like, he's fidgeting like the whole time. And I'm like, okay. So we ended up having a semi okay conversation. But he's this workout dude, and we're talking about workouts. And he's like, yeah, what you need to do is this and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yeah, I can't really work with weights like that. I can work with light weights, but he's like, no, but it's the weights that burn fat. And I'm like, listen, I was like, don't let my current size mm, fool you. I used to be an athlete and I know what works for me. You understand? And I can't work with an overabundance of weights because I'm already muscular. And so the first thing he says was, well, let me, he's like, let me be the judge of that. And I was like, yeah,
What?
okay, you better not touch me. Like, in
Right.
my mind, like, you better not
Personal
touch me,
trainer
dude.
game. Come on.
Right. Like, I'm not feeling you like that. Don't touch me, dude. But anyway, he's like, oh, you should let me be the judge of that and this, that, and the other. I'm a personal trainer. Blah, blah, blah. He's going through this whole thing. So we're having this conversation. And once he finally lets me get it out, which is the reason why that, don't work with an overabundance of weights. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. And he was like, and actually I kind of like looked down at your thighs. And he was like, I mean, you're thick. He was like, but I see muscle definition in your legs and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, I am 50. You don't think I know? Like,
Talk
Right.
that shit,
so
nigga.
it's like, like, yeah. So anyway, we get off that conversation. So somehow he gets back to, oh, I'm sorry. So we started talking about, how he works. He was like, yeah, when I get off at 6, I'm coming to your house. I said, I'm sorry, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, I'm coming, coming over at your house. I can take a shower and we can sit and chill and, maybe eat breakfast and watch. I was like, at 6 o'clock in the morning, niggas, you crazy. I was like, first of all, we don't know each other like that. And why do you think that's cool? Like, you don't even know me. I could be some kind of psychopath. Like, whatever. So I'm like, you're joking. He's like, no, I'm not joking. I get off at 6. Yeah, I could come over and no, that's not gonna happen. Like, you're trying to move way too fast. Whatever, whatever, whatever. So we get off of that particular subject, and somehow we get back onto working out again. And then I get the answer to the mystery. He says, well, with me getting older, the definition is not coming as easily as it used to. And, so that's the reason why, I have to do roids. I was like, oh, so that's what's going on with you. It's the roids. He's like, yeah, he's like, I take 2 shots a day. And this, I was like, it was
Oh,
like the whole
Lord.
thing. It was just like, just like
Okay.
downhill.
Yeah. So what you're
Testosterone
telling
works
me is
wonders
that
as you get older.
eventually. So what you're telling me is that eventually you're going to be abusive, and you gotta, and your
And shit ain't
testicles
gonna work.
are
Right.
small. Nah.
I
Energy
was
pays
just
off,
like,
but
What'd you say, Magic?
said energy pays off.
I mean, sure. I mean, first of all, well, let me shut up. Well, I will
Stop
say
being a
it.
punk. This is the area to clear how you
If
feel.
he's that hyper, he's not doing steroids correctly to begin with.
yeah,
So he doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster.
disaster.
And you said at 41?
Mm-hmm.
The only time I've taken steroids in life, I was in my mid 20s, but it wasn't anything about energy or sexuality or anything. I just wanted to get over 200 pounds. And
Okay.
while it was over the counter shit, it was andro something. I don't remember what it was called exactly, but basically it was testosterone pills you could just buy in a GNC or whatever.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, that low dose.
yeah, I will say it provided me with a lot of energy. I felt like it made me more violent, but
Mm.
also I drank a lot at the time and I was in my 20s and
Well, I
doing
mean,
the battle rap circuit in Atlanta. So
if you
Mm.
there's
already
probably
have a high
other
level of
factors.
testosterone and you add testosterone, yeah,
Yeah,
I
it gets
mean,
ridiculous quickly.
yes,
And I think the pills were you
because
were
it's the
supposed to take like
testosterone
two,
that
three
makes y'all
times a
crazy.
day, and I was taking once a day, and it was like, nah, this is too much.
Mm. How long did you do that for?
At whatever point I reached over 200 pounds, I was like, all right, cool. It might
You
have
can
been like
stop.
3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm weird because I'm from a family of drug addicts, so I always feel like I don't
You're
want to be
conscious.
addicted to anything. So
Hmm.
anything I'm doing on a regular basis that may or may not be harmful, I'm like, yeah, I quit. I'm gonna just stop for 3 months.
Hmm.
Huh.
You're conscious. Well, that's
Yeah,
smart.
to include bum bitches. Heck yeah.
Bomb bitches. Wow, that's a term I hadn't heard in a while.
It's a whole song about it. I'll send it to
Wrote a song about it. Want to hear
you.
it?
Here you go.
Here you go.
My cousin wrote a song about it. I just happened to hop on it.
Ah, bomb bitches.
Okay, well, so um, we're gonna say no on that dude, and
No, he's been gone. Like he texted me the
Does
other
the
day, and I
physical
just looked
trainer
at my phone
game
like,
work?
huh?
The physical trainer game is. I notice people who are physical trainers for a living. It's always a side hustle to get more pussy.
no, I actually know one that we're actually going to have on the show soon. We're just trying to get the schedule together, um, and that's just what he does. But I mean,
Deep
we'll
tissue
ask him
Well, for
massage.
this
questions.
dude,
Nigga, I.
I think it's it's part money and part it's a way to get some because like during our conversation, this dude was like, yeah, uh if I come over at 6 o'clock and things, evolve the way that I would like them to, we could set up a camera. I said, wait, what? Wait,
My
what? What
G,
the
I
fuck?
get that
Yeah,
OnlyFans money
see that
without paying
testosterone,
Yeah,
coworkers.
yeah, yeah.
just that
Like,
testosterone making y'all crazy. I'm telling you.
and even after I had said, like, no, that's not gonna happen, he kept trying to revisit, and it's just like, you are aggressive. Um,
I get dude points for keeping it real, but he might have been a little early.
a
A lot
little.
early. Right.
We meeting for coffee for the first time. You talking about videotaping? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Also, coffee, not a date.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
okay. And maybe one day we'll talk about the nation's drug addiction with coffee and
You have.
and how people always assume that you're addicted too because they are.
We covered that.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I hate it when dudes ask me out for coffee. I'm like, I don't
I
drink
don't
that
drink coffee.
swill.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee, but I can,
Why?
if it's a
Why?
coffee shop, I can probably find some tea. So,
Well, I
And you
probably
just
yeah.
could,
go
but
straight
it's
for let's
tea.
make movies.
Why am I paying $5 for water in a tea bag? Like it's just the silliest thing.
Same reason why
And I'm gonna
people
probably
pay
cut this
$5
in the
for a
future,
water and some
but
coffee grounds.
have y'all done homemade porn?
What?
Have y'all done like homemade porn movies?
Yes.
No.
It, yeah, it doesn't really. You gotta understand angles and Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't really
it
come out
wasn't
as
cute.
smoothly as you would think. Yeah,
Yep, it does not.
I'm trying to figure out what that has to do with my tea, but okay.
nah, because dude was just offering up videos way too damn
Oh,
early.
yeah.
Like, fuck, I got
It's
an
yeah.
OnlyFans, but I'm gonna at
Yeah,
least get to know you before I bring that up. Like, hey, you want to shoot some content? Come on, slow down.
right. Like I never did that. I never did that when I was young. I damn sure ain't finna do it when I'm old.
I'm sure there's some videos of me floating around the internet, but
Well,
I'm entertained.
I they're definitely, now that they got high definition, are not going to be any videos of me. Like I don't need that in my life. I don't need to see me from that angle. No, thank you.
Well, I stay cool with my ex because I'm pretty sure he still has a couple of our films.
Mm.
Don't want to piss him off.
I mean,
I figure if worse comes to worse, it's a good advertisement for the next chick. I don't give a shit.
no. Well, yeah. I just. Well, that's a whole nother topic. But anyway,
Yeah, well, just
yeah.
call me Dion Ferris till next time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hopeless.
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta
Yeah, if
go
you
walk the
like the
dog.
show, tell a friend, tell a
Also,
foe, tell a hoe. If you don't, tell everybody you know. It's the Threesome Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, the Threesome Pod on Twitter. Peace out, Monica.
I'm going to walk the dog.
Walking the dog.
Well, first
Oh,
I'm gonna watch the Heat game went into overtime, so I gotta coach. So
who
I'm
are
gonna
they
do that.
playing?
Go get
Um,
your check.
they're playing Atlanta.
Oh, nah, they can beat Atlanta. All right.
Well,
Shot
they're
the
up by
sugar
2 right
bombs.
now, so um, yeah. I haven't really been watching, so I don't know like what Trader Barge was doing,
He a volume
but
shooter. I don't really like his style, but it works.
well, a lot of people don't like his get down, but you know,
I'm one of them
I'm a
people. If you
Heat
shoot
fan,
30
so
shots a game, you should score 30 fucking points. You only got to hit half of them, and they ain't counting the ones you got fouled on.
yeah, I don't know what Jimmy Butler's been doing because he's back
Jimmy
and
stay solid, so
well, he also stays angry, which is hilarious to me.
you gotta be passionate about your craft.
Yep, and you know, my Zoe is usually behind the bench, so I like that. Anyway, I'm out.
Pieces.
Adios.
Bye, people.